Hey guys, it's JC. I am here today to just share one thing with you that has rocked my world. Okay, truth is, I've been in this space for a while. I've kind of read things and processed things, and I've seen and owned a lot of my stuff. But I was reading something the other day, and now I'm going to share it with you. You know those moments when the Lord kind of slices through all your rationalizations, all your justifications, all your talk that it isn't that bad and it's not that big of a deal. And this was one of those moments. And again, I'm kind of in recovery, but I still have to be careful. And so I was reading some stuff from Oswald Chambers, who is one of my mentors. That's how he doesn't even live on this earth anymore, but he is a Christian Scottish pastor that lived back in like 1800s, I think, maybe early 19. Oh, forgive me. I don't remember. His book is so dog-eared and written in, and I will link it below. The book is called My Utmost for His Highest. And I mean, you can just read a chapter and ponder on it for 2 weeks. That's how deep it is. So I was just going through some Oswald stuff and just studying, and I came across the definition from him of the word lust. Now, we have talked in other videos and in some of my online classes about how that can apply to our food journey, right? And I have used Galatians 5 that says, walk in the Spirit and you won't fulfill the lusts of the flesh. Now, if you're new to my channel, you may say, well, I don't think I really lust. Like, I wouldn't call my sugar habit that. That seems extreme. It seems a little like, we start building those rationalizations, right? We start going, oh, it's just a little thing and it's not that. Okay. So I read this definition from Oswald Chambers. I don't think I need my glasses. He says the meaning of lust is I must have it at once. It could be anything. It could be anything. I must have it at once. It's a fury of desire without any regard for the consequences. A fury of desire. I must have it now. I read that and I literally just sat back and I went, that has been me more than 1,000. I was going to say 1,000. Probably 10,000 times with food. 10,000. I must have it. I did not say that with my words. Or I called it a craving. Craving sounds way better than lust, right? To walk in the kitchen and go, I'm lusting after some chocolate chip cookies. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to say, oh, I have such a craving. I have to have it. Let's get in the car. Let's go get Dairy Queen Blizzard was one of my old ones. And so many different things. Like, I must have it at once. That I will move heaven and earth, find a way, fit in the day to have it now. That's a kind of tough definition, isn't it? Like I said in the title, it's a tough pill to swallow because here's the thing. I don't know if you're doing this, but this is what I started doing the day after I read that and for several days. I started going, oh, wow, I do that about so many things, not just food. Amazon shopping, I don't know. Think of what I have to have it now. I have to do it now. I have to watch a movie, right? I'm like, I have to have that escape right now, or something that I'm driven to where I will not wait. I will not exercise any self-control. I just give way to my lust. And then I'm not walking in the Spirit. I am driven by the flesh. And I started, oh, I know this is a hard one. I started studying a little more about the idea because I was like, man, that leaves no stone unturned because Oswald, sorry, it's been a long day. I had a long day at work. Oswald said, you can lust for things, he used the words, that are not sordid or vile. You can lust for an answer from God, he said. I must have it now. I just was like, oh, wow. How often am I impatient? How often do I demand things of my family? I must have that now. I cannot tolerate this anymore. Or something I want to buy or something I want to... I lust a lot. This is still a work in progress for me. I'm better with food, but I can tell you what, I still probably do it with healthy food more than I should in those moments, right? He said the test is fasting from anything, from whatever it is. Can you fast from that thing for a time and be unaffected and be at peace and be... I don't do very good fasting. I hope this is a positive message. The reason I share it is because this journey out of food addiction, or whatever it looks like for you, binging, overeating, emotional eating, whatever it looks like, we've got to let the Lord strip us down to where we see the deep roots. And if we have to call it lust, and if we have to see it for what it is, then we've got to let him have those moments with us where he, like I said, slices through all our rationalization and has us where we're like, yep, it is lust. It's flat out, I lust for food. I lust for this. I lust for... What are you doing in your life where you must have it right now? Is it a new house, new car, new pair of shoes? Is it, I don't know. Maybe spend some time chewing on that. Now, the last idea I want to share that I read, and it was from Oswald and then and I can't remember who I got it from, so forgive me. I'm just kind of paraphrasing everything I studied online about this. The idea was, and part of it came from Oswald Chambers, once you give in to your lust, you yield is the word that he used. Once you yield to that, we call it craving. What if we call it lust? You yield to your lust. Your psyche saying, I must have it now. And we yield to that. He said, then it has dominion over you. It begins to have dominion over you. It begins to lock you up in kind of addictive patterns of behavior. And he was very clear. The only way out is not willpower. And it's not just self effort. He was very clear that once you yield to the lust of the flesh, the only way out of that hold it starts to take on you is through Christ alone. That's the journey we're taking on this channel. No matter where you sit on this spectrum, and no matter how much you may struggle or not struggle, you may be deep into food addiction and you've been there many years, many decades, or you may just be like younger and you're like, well, I think I just eat a little bad every once in a while, or I have a binge every once in a while. It's assessing, when do I let the lusts of my flesh completely take control? I call it something else so I feel better about it. And then I just yield to it and have a binge with my credit card, or with food, or with anger, or with, I just tell the Lord, I must have it now. I must have this circumstance change now. How often am I driven by that fury of desire, Oswald says, with no regard for the consequences? Knowing that and seeing that in ourselves is a huge first step. Not rationalizing at all. That's part of the process. I know, tough pill to swallow, right? I'm hoping I'm saying it enough times. I've been repeating myself, but I hope I'm saying it enough times that when you walk in the kitchen next time, or when you get in your car and go, I must have it now. I must have it now. And you're going to go through some drive-through to get your fix. As much as you may not be happy with me, I hope I'm driving it into your head that your brain is starting to think, this is your lust. This is the lust of your flesh. And if you yield to that, it's going to take stronger and stronger control of you. It's understanding these patterns and then taking them to the Lord and releasing that yielding and saying, okay, I want to be free. I want to be free. I don't want it to have control over me. I don't know. I may reshoot this, or I may just post it. I worry sometimes that you guys are like, oh, she keeps talking about this, and it's the way to healing. This is the Lord's way. You've got to unlearn the old. You've got to see the true situation for what it really is. I'm speaking from experience because I was 20 years of sugar addiction. I've been there so many times, lusting over something I thought I needed to have to bring me comfort or to bring me satisfaction or to make me feel better. But it was the lust of my flesh. And there is only one who can satisfy. I hope it was helpful this week. I don't know. Talk to me in a week, maybe, once you're not mad at me anymore for ripping the Band-Aid off all your emotional eating and calling it the lust of your flesh. But, you know, it is what it is. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.